Your business is as good as your clients. This simple observation has been at the core of what has been a fundamental shift in customer service in many industries. To take the lead from insurance industry, we have the case of health insurers investing in preventive healthcare of their clients. Other notable example of this phenomena can be observed in the field of education, where institutions invest in career counseling initiatives of their existing and prospective clients. The origin of non-financial services for MSMEs, popularly termed as business development services, is also an example of businesses, in this case the financial institutions, investing in capacity building of their enterprise clients. Let us first understand what exactly we mean when we say non-financial services in the context of MSMEs. It is a well-known fact that access to finance is one of the major constraints that MSMEs across the world face. As per an IFC McKinsey study, it is estimated that around 85% of around 400 million MSMEs across the world suffer from credit constraints. However, besides access to finance, there are a range of capacity building services that MSMEs need for their growth and development. Non-financial services are such capacity building inputs which are mainly targeted at enhancing the performance of a business enterprise and increasing their access to markets and improving their competitiveness and profitability. A range of stakeholders are involved in design and delivery of non-financial services. On one hand, we have financial institutions that focus on NFS to complement their SME financing programs. On the other hand, there are donors that support creation of an enabling environment for NFS. They do so by establishing or funding specialized NFS providers or by providing grant and technical assistance support to FIs to venture into NFS space. Other important players are the specialized training and capacity building institutions that deliver NFS on behalf of FIs or through donor support. Lastly, government is also an important player in providing NFS through public-private partnerships and creating the required infrastructure and regulatory regime that promotes MSMEs. So why do FIs in particular need to invest time and resources in developing market-led non-financial service package for their MSME clients? Well, theoretically, the provision of such services is likely to make MSME clients of an FI more bankable, increase their ability to repay loans, and consequently ensure a better portfolio performance for the concerned FIs. However, a study done on the subject highlights that most FIs venture into this space in order to differentiate themselves from the competitors. They see NFS as an important marketing tool for their MSME product offerings, which ultimately leads to client retention and enhanced customer service. So let's look at the broad classification of non-financial services for MSMEs. The framework based on the work of ILO and UNDP classifies NFS into operational, advisory and advocacy services. While operational services are targeted at individual enterprises and include short-term support and hand-holding services on matters relating to accounting, financial management, labor management, and legal and regulatory advice. Advisory services, on the other hand, are directed towards providing long-term development services to the enterprises in matters relating to strategic management, marketing assistance, and knowledge transfer. Certain advocacy services are aimed at improving the overall policy environment around MSMEs. Such advocacy services are usually taken up by public associations and trade bodies. The application of any of these support interventions depends on the need of the enterprises and the context in which they operate. Going further, it is very important to understand some of the major challenges that various stakeholders face in designing appropriate non-financial services. Designing customized and impactful non-financial service package requires a careful need assessment exercise that defines the contours of the support that MSMEs in a particular context would require. Probably, this is one of the major challenges that the largest stakeholder group involving FIs, donors, and the service delivery organizations often face. At MicroSave, we have done extensive work in designing NFS packages for our clients in Africa, South Pacific, and South Asia. And we realized that it is very difficult to design standard NFS packages due to contextual underpinnings related to socio-economic, regulatory, and political environment. As a standard practice, MicroSave emphasizes a lot on understanding the current status and needs of the MSME, which then fits into our overall approach in terms of designing the most effective delivery programs to cater to the needs identified. Another related challenge is that often FIs neglect the importance of non-financial services and depend on donor-led programs. While the high-level donor-led programs do create an enabling environment by building the required meso-level infrastructure for the delivery of NFS, we strongly believe that effectiveness of NFS can be increased multifold if it is led by financial institutions, as it creates a sense of ownership and makes the design and delivery aspects of NFS customized and targeted. However, we do acknowledge the fact that donors have an important role to play here as well. They can support through performance-based grants to subsidize the costs related to design and delivery of NFS by the individual FIs. Another challenge, or should I say an important aspect related to design of NFS services, is in terms of measuring the impact of NFS both at enterprise level and also at a service provider or FI level. Developing appropriate impact measurement frameworks go a long way in continually assessing the impact of NFS and also making those much needed enhancement and customizations in program design to maximize the impact. To conclude, I would say while the opportunities galore as far as delivery of effective non-financial services for MSMEs is concerned, the need of the hour is joint effort and coordination between all the stakeholders in identifying the NFS needs of the MSMEs in a particular context, building appropriate partnerships to jointly address those needs, designing customized delivery programs, and lastly, measuring the impact of these initiatives through appropriate measurement framework to enhance the overall effectiveness of these interventions.